your favorite dude here, and it's time for the story of my dude. So let's get right into it. Launch day. 15 minutes in, the epic adventure begins. Moving up in the world, flexing our engineering goggles, as we all do. Flexing the upgraded ones, the green tinted ones at level 20. Fast forward to level 28, Warrior Quest up in the Barrens Mountains. Fast forward to 37. This was where I farmed out my mount money. The way I did it was I got underwater breathing potions and swim speed potions. And for about 8 hours, I kept opening these cages for the lobsters at Shadowprey Village. You could hand them in for 50 silver each. And you could also get a fishing rod that would sell for a couple gold. Got the job done. And there you have it. We were going fast. Man, leveling up as my dude was so funny. With all of the quest text. Fast forward to level 60. Shout out Heavy Morty, man. In this group, we didn't move until every single member of this group got handed justice. And we did. We prospered. Started raiding. I think this was the first screenshot I have of actually raiding. And I remember this is where I was adamant. I decided I was going to beat all these rogues. Look at this. Look at it. It was all rogues. All of them. But it's okay. We didn't have gear. I knew. Once we got the gear, we were going to be on top. We just got to continue. We started getting gear. As you can see, the warriors in the guild. But still, that top rogue was on top. But not for long. Ladies and gents. Deathbringer main hand. Doom's Edge offhand. Orc warrior. Ready to Zug Zug. So you best believe, from here on out, this is what it was going to look like. Everyone was lifted by my dude's accomplishment. Everyone bowed down to the might of my dude. Now, around this time, I started farming arcane crystals. But not just one, it was 2 at a time. Again, 2 at a time. Because I needed to gather these mats for something special. Now, I was getting so many arcane crystals. Even the whispers of arcane crystals in Azara was getting me arcane crystals. Let me show you.
I heard you just found an arcane crystal. Yeah. Oh, you did? Oh.
So with all these arcane crystals, I seeked out Slashy Slash in my guild. And he told me that I'm going to enjoy every bit of this special item. If you check this bag, all warriors will know. Right here, that's what you need for the Lionheart Helm. Traded it over to Slashy Slash. And that was all I had. You can see how I was broke. This was it. And there it is. I was ready to Zug Zug and pump those meters. And you best believe I went to sleep with a smile on my face. And every time I looked at this goddamn login screen, I couldn't wait to get in. I had so many arcane crystals at this point. I was just selling them. For some reason, no one else was selling at the time, so I was able to sell them for like 150 gold each. However, I realized that now that I've got the Lionheart Helm, I need to set my sights on something else. What's my next objective? And I realized I had a dream. A dream of a brown two-handed sword called the Bone Reaver's Edge. But there was work to do. So I got my two-handed sword at the time, and I went over, and as you can see here, it took me about 4.5 hours, and I got my two-handed sword skill up to max. And in the process, I also farmed a bunch of meat and air for money. But this is just step 1 for the BRE. Step 2 would be the harder one. How am I going to convince my guild to give me BRE as a Fury Warrior? So I needed to invest my Arcane Crystals in none less than the Nightfall. The Nightfall is a two-handed axe that gives a spell damage proc, and this was my way in. I dreamed it up, and I realized if I make all these mages and all these warlocks happy, there was a chance. And there I was, gimping myself as an arms warrior with the Nightfall, making the mages and the warlocks happy. Shout out to Bloodhowl, man. Bloodhowl was our Thunder Fury main tank, but he had a kid, so he quit, obviously, for a while. And then when he came back, he actually joined us for some of the AQ runs. And you can see I was still swinging the Nightfall in AQ. Now, during this time, you will have seen on some of the screenshots, you will have seen my rank. I was ranking PvP during this time. No pre-mades, no AV all day. I hated AV ranking. Like, I did AV for the rep to get the ring, but AV was not PvP. You were just running and getting honor. Sure, it was efficient, but it was boring as hell. I was an AB player, man. Arathi Basin for the win. But I was crazy, man. I was the kind of guy who would jump off the ledge, bait you into think I was gonna die, and then charge back into you and execute your ass. But let me not tell you. Let me just show you. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Now, when I say I did AB hard, I guess the best way to prove it would be these jumps. On a slow mount, might I add. Yeah. When you're executing these perfectly. Yeah, 360ing him in. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah. But I couldn't be on a slow mount for my entirety of my life. And one day, I'm so glad I have this on video. One day, my good friend Bullneck, he gave me a loan as soon as I hit the rep for AV so that I could buy my epic mount. And I'm so glad to see that I was able to find this clip. You're going to see, I'm just going to shut up. You're going to see pure happiness here.
Fuck, man. I got it.
Congrats,
I
Mydude.
believe I can fly.
Now, the first thing I did, by the way, I had a very specific first thing I did as soon as I got this mount. Let me just show you. I wasn't able to do this on a slow mount, and I needed a fast mount to be able to do it. This is the pro chill spot in Orgrimmar. If you didn't know, that's fine. There it is. That's where pros hang out. Now, with the epic mount acquired, it was time for me to hit rank 10 solo, mostly playing AB. And I took it back. I took it back to where I came from. I took the two-handed axe back to Kalank and showed him what's up. And you best believe I was rewarded. It dropped. BRE dropped. And they gave it to me for my righteous sacrifice with the Nightfall. I looked so fucking good. Ah, this was peak. This was peak right here. Now, as soon as I gathered my full brown set, let me tell you that I lived outside Orgrimmar. Obviously, this is what it looked like when I was playing PvP. It was basically pure violence from here on out. Everybody dying left, right, and center. Topping the meters every time I went in. Pure violence. As I said, it was time to live outside Orgrimmar and just duel everyone and beat everyone. And all these people were like arena dudes. But yeah. Wrecked. Wrecked. It doesn't matter what class you were. It didn't matter if you were rank 12. You could have legendary weapons. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if you were arranged. It didn't matter if you were a mage. It didn't matter if you were a fucking hunter. Now, at this time, this I think is the last screenshot of Shadow of the Past. Shadow of the Past ended. And we started Explicit. And obviously I came to say goodbye to Slashy Slash, who had a legendary weapon. Couldn't beat me though. So yeah. Again, warlocks, mages, it didn't matter. If you wanted to come duel outside Orgrimmar, you found me in my brown set. I was ready. Look, Thunder Furies, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. You were losing. You were losing to me. You were losing to me. I was looking good. We did a lot of funky quests with Explicit. It was a good time. Just the server in general, it was just so fun on Noggenfogger, man. It was great. I may or may not have cursed our guild by murdering Dispel God X as many times as I've seen him. So I may or may not have put a target on our back. Someone had to do it. And then Nyxramas began. And basically, that's where Explicit fell apart. And we moved into Bloodlust, as you can see. And yeah, we just went back, got everyone everything they needed, like DFTs and stuff. What an epic thing, man. I was able to witness Heavy Morty getting his Ashbringer. It was so cool when we went to SM to watch the whole thing play out. Now this I want to show you because Bullneck, once again, saving my ass. Raiding was so fucking expensive. And I was out of ways of getting gold because everyone already was farming arcane crystals. Everyone had money. I didn't have anything. So I was sending Bullneck these mails with Firewater and Echoes because he was in this hardcore guild and he was speedrunning and I know he needed them. And he used to hook me the fuck up. Look at that. Look at this present box I got. Everything he needed. Protection potions, mongoose, agility, lips. Good times. Good times. But Bullneck, man, he was nuts. Look at this. This was on the same account, by the way. This is not two different accounts. He used to log in, log out, log in, log out, and get the buffs on the same character on the same account. It just blew my mind. And at this point, I realized I need to get hooked up. I need to get in this guild, and I need to see what's up. And that's how it happened. I got invited into Circus by Bullneck himself. And dude, these guys were nuts. They had summons everywhere. We had all the buffs, all the time, for the full duration. I remember I took this screenshot because they were mad that my rend was 55 minutes. And they told me to get another one for a full 60. But we did. That's how it is. And I finished the game. I completed the game. Clicking this to log in felt so damn good. I wish I could go back here for a day or an afternoon. But most importantly, I would pay so much money to just log back in and swing BRE again. This is a white hit on a 3 stacked BRE. This will one-shot a Clothy. It was pure violence. And there you have it. That's the content I was able to find of Mydude. Thank you so much for everyone who was part of the journey. I haven't forgotten. Most of you I still talk to. And yeah, massive shout out to my GMs, Blacks and Quincy. Still speak to Quincy all the time. Blacks, if you see this, I love you, man. And yeah, rest in peace, my dude.